Group 1s on this Tuesday afternoon from Rosehill, the Vinery Stud Stakes, 3-year-old fillies, 2,000 metres. Davo, first run in 1979, some wonderful fillies have won it.
Yeah, it's been a super race for the fillies over the years, Marto, and you're right. We've seen Very Elegant go to great heights off this race, and look, I think there's another superstar this year.
Picks herself, really, doesn't she? Treasure the Moment, Star Victorian Miss, dominant, second up in the CUNY at Flemington.
Yeah, she was terrific this day. And look, she's just so versatile, isn't she? She can sit back off a hot speed like she did this day. She can sit up on a slower speed and burn away, and look, she just keeps winning and winning for fun, and the form out of the race has been terrific, and look, she's just going to keep on going, and I think the only thing that beats her today is potentially the wet track, but I don't see it holding too many concerns at the short odds.
You're most worried about Benegild, who did beat the boys at Caulfield last time out.
Yeah, she did. She was beaten 6 lengths prior to that behind Treasure the Moment, but saying that, it was a good win last time out, and I think she's going really well. Moving out, tempo was against last time. I think the wet track will suit as well, can certainly improve, and Powers of Opal will appreciate the 2,000 metres. Obviously no match for Treasure the Moment last spring, and probably not going as well where Treasure the Moment's gone forward, but she can improve.
All right, Davo, with the bookies, late Treasure the Moment 145 was posted 15 minutes ago. It's into $1.40. Some specs to beat it include Delici Boulevard number 5, which is 11 out to 12, back into $11. Kept chasing last time out and goes 1,500 out to the 2,000 first time today.
Well, I see that the reason I think she's being backed is two reasons. One, she had no hope last start the way the race was run. I mean, they zipped home in 32.7 and she made up pretty good ground, but was never going to win the race considering how slowly they went. And two, we've seen that Lazura form be franked today. Even though that horse lost, it was the best thing beaten you'll see all year probably. So I think they're the two reasons. She needs to relax. She can overdo it a little bit, but Chris Waller's slowly been teaching her to sort of drop her head and do all the right things, and I think she's getting better at that, and he's a master at that.
And Benegild is 11 out to 15, but back into $12, attracting good interest at double figure odds. Gator, I'll throw this one your way because she's done her racing in Victoria and was good winning the Vobus Guineas last time out.
Yeah, she won like a good filly. I've always thought she is that. Her first up run, she was thrashed by Treasure the Moment, but it wasn't really, it was a non-event really for her back and buried that day. If you go back to her Caulfield 1,000 Guineas run in the spring, I think she ran 4th. You can argue with even like she beats Amelita, and some are tipping her to win a derby, so you can make a good case the 6th.
At huge odds, Candy Queen 61 to 51, and Ella Hazel is 81 into $61. Treasure the Moment, $2.30 Oaks favourite currently.
Yep, and I think the fact that this meeting's pushed back to Tuesday will take any sort of thoughts of the derby off the table, and she'll go towards the Oaks, and I think that's the right move. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we'll wait and see the derby fields, but I'm guessing Eliana would go that way and try to dodge her, and which would be a bit of a shame. You want to see these fillies race each other, but I would assume that would be the case. I don't know. I haven't kept up with the latest news this week on where that horse is heading, but yeah, she's going to be hard to beat in an Oaks, no doubt. It's not easy to do the double, Marto. Normally those that are up for the VRC Oaks in the spring, they're normally the early sort of the ones that are up and going, and then the others catch up in the autumn, and if anything, missing that Oaks and staying for Sydney can often be a big advantage because you just get a bit more time to develop. So the fact that she's gone there and then now she's going to this Oaks, it'd be quite the achievement if she's able to win both.
Can give you the stats there. 10 fillies have won this after claiming the VRC Oaks. 25 have tried.
There you go. It's not bad, is it? That's pretty good stats. Considering now what are we looking at there? A good strike rate, that's for sure. So, yeah, she was dominant in the spring, and look, her dominance continues over these trips, and the market's happy to beat $1.40, and I can understand why. I think that's probably her true odds here. The track seems to be relatively fair, maybe a little bit fencing run, but you can sit off and still win, and that's where she'll probably be, just maybe somewhere off the fence, chiming in at the right time.
Gator, of course, already a VRC Oaks winner at 2,500 metres. Solgo at 2,000, won the Wakeful Stakes at Flemington.
Yeah, she showed her class that day, didn't she? And then went on to the Oaks and was pretty dominant. Beat a good field, I think, that year. You've seen the likes of Harlem Queen and co merge from that form line and run really well against older horses. So I like the fillies this year, and I really like her.
And 8 fillies have won this, and then the Australian Oaks at Randwick. Hungry Heart in 2021, Very Elegant in 2019, the two most recent.
She's had the beautiful preparation for this and the Oaks. It's just brought her along beautifully. Matt Laurie's done a great job with her, and look, she hasn't missed the top 2 finish in 9 starts. She's won the 7, and look, the only query today is the wet track, getting through it. But I don't see, if it was a heavy 10 Saturday, might be a different story. But the fact now we're on a 7, it's a long way away from a heavy 10.
First of the 2 Group 1s on this Tuesday afternoon from Rosehill, the Vinery Stud Stakes for $750,000. Here's Darren.
He ran really well in the far lap. So now they move in. Yes, thanks, Marto. Getting set now for the Vinery Stud Stakes here over 2,000 metres. Treasure of the Moment, $1.40. She's got the white-coloured cap. The other year-long filly moving out has the black. Her second run since coming from New Zealand. But it's all about Treasure of the Moment. She's shooting for 7 in a row. She's beaten Powers of Opal on 2 occasions in the Wakeful and the VRC Oaks. She was so dominant that day. Track's been upgraded to a soft 7, and she's 1 for 1 on soft going Treasure of the Moment. So Powers of Opal moves into the wider draw, and the Clichy Boulevard is the last to go in. Drawn barrier 9, so $1.40 here, Treasure of the Moment. And Nashra Willer is guiding the Clichy Boulevard into the gates. Locked and loaded now, and the fillies are ready for action. Gates are back now and they're off and racing. There's a great line out overall. The favourite Treasure of the Moment was one of the first out. Real Class there with Canny Quinn on the fence. Now Whiteout Powers of Opal being sent forward. And the Clichy Boulevard as well is firing up in the early part. Nash is trying to get her to drop ahead and get some cover. Further back to moving out from Benegill, who's taken a spot down on the rails. And the last 2, Ella Hazel and Verona Rose, as Powers of Opal goes forward on the outside. And Powers of Opal will take the lead, and the favourite Treasure of the Moment now rolls into second position. So the early rolls of the race are reversed from Victoria, and Powers of Opal a bit keen in the lead from Treasure of the Moment. Real Class is right there together with Canny Queen, who's plonked down on the rails, and the Clichy Boulevard got really fired up in the early part, and now she's pulled away into third. Canny Queen fourth and Real Class. A length further back to moving out in the black cap on the outside of Benegill. 2 lengths to Ella Hazel and a length off to Verona Rose, and she's about 9 off the lead. Inside the 1,000, Powers of Opal seems to be racing a bit freer in the lead now from the Clichy Boulevard, and Treasure of the Moment is in third position, the $1.40 favourite. 2 after Canny Queen, Real Class in the running line. Then Benegill moving out now third last from Verona Rose, creeping a bit closer on the inside of Ella Hazel. So Powers of Opal goes further in front. Tom Marquand is making it a staying test here in the Group 1 Vinery Stakes. Powers of Opal 4 in front. 2 to Clichy Boulevard. Treasure of the Moment. Then Real Class further back to Canny Queen, and moving out, getting to the outside. Powers of Opal's coming back to them pretty quickly. The tactics are backfired, and quickly Treasure of the Moment given the cue by Lane and races to the lead from de Clichy Boulevard, who's fighting on gamely, and Benegill's doing best of the rest and running a big race on the outside. Treasure of the Moment, 200 to go, a length in front. Benegill goes to second, well clear from the rest. Treasure of the Moment is 7 in a row, her second Group 1. Treasure of the Moment a class above, beating Benegill. A photo for third. De Clichy Boulevard's been so brave trying to cling on. Verona Rose dived on the outside. Then Canny Queen, Real Class, further back Ella Hazel. Powers of Opal drop right out, and moving out never improved her position.
Another win to Treasure of the Moment, and the Victorian runs second to 1-2 for the Victorians. Treasure of the Moment beats Benegill, and then it's close for third. Delici Boulevard, number 5, is there, and Verona Rose, number 7, takes a late dive. No doubt about the winner.
No doubt about the winner, and I don't think she handled the track that well, Marto, to be honest. She didn't really let down like we know she can, and I just think that was the track conditions. But when you're that good, you don't have to really handle it, and you can still win, and that's exactly what she did. Benegill was super, franking that Melbourne form. De Clichy Boulevard did everything wrong, and still looks like she'll probably grab that third. Looking at that photo, I would suggest over Verona Rose, who ran well. But all onwards now to the Oaks, and look, a better track's only going to suit her even more.
It'll be 1, 6, 5, third, 7, fourth. Matt Laurie gets his 4th Group 1 gator. Damien Lane his 38th.
Yeah, look, he can, like a lot of trainers, we say it all the time, they get a good horse, they get him to win, and that's all they have to do. And he's got the hands on on a good one here, and I really liked the win. I'm a big Benegiel fan, but winner's just better.
1, 6, 5, 7, and all those states are on screen, and that's 6 races down, 4 races to come. Tancred Stakes main quaddie starts with the next, the Star Kingdom Stakes, and Davo likes Marzu. General Salute is a value play for Gator as horse number 15. Gator, the 6th event at Doomben, is a no metro wins race at 1200, mean approach. It's come back really well, this prep for the new yard.
Yeah, it has that, and the first up win I thought had a fair bit of merit. That was at Toowoomba and covered a lot of ground early, was heavily backed and still beat. The month between runs into Eagle Farm and made up a stack of ground. Absolutely stormed home there, so happy that way. Certainly handled the ground, no issue there. Dangers, certainly Can's another horse in really good form. She comes off a Doomben win in a Class 3. She beat Key Rival here. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Harry was only second up that day, so must have a case that that's the right form. And John Rambo, he can...
To the biggest one of them all at Rosehill, the Tancred Stakes Weight for Age Group 1. And you're siding here with Vauban, number 2. Excellent winning first up here at Rosehill.
Gee, what a terrific race it is this year. Had real trouble splitting all 4 of these. Can only have one on top, and it's Vauban who did play out pre-race, but simply too much class fresh. He ran over Arapaho, of course, the key rival here, and Lindemann, who had then tested Via Sistina. Obviously a world-class stayer. He's won 7 races, soft, heavy. Duke de Sessa, that was a terrific return. 60 kilos, dry track, unsuitable trip. They may well have beaten another world-class horse in Middle Earth with even luck. Middle Earth ran okay in an Australian Cup. He's just run off his feet. Due by Honour, well, we know this horse really well. The Queen Elizabeth Randford winner here in 2023. His 2 runs 2024 were very good. And Arapaho, the other key hope. 2, 4, 1 and 3.
Dubai Honour is the favourite on the tab fix. 350 this morning, late 360 into 330. Vauban went up at 370 this morning. It's currently at 350. Duke de Sessa 480 this morning, currently at 5. Arapaho is 6 into the 5 range, back to 6 close up as well. And we're hard upon the feature this afternoon from Rosehill, the Group 1 Tancred Stakes at Weight for Age over the 2,000 metres. First contested, Davo, in 1963, and it's a good horses race.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, looking forward to the addition this year, of course. Some international flavour, and Vauban, who I guess we can claim as our own now that he's here. But yeah, it's going to be a great race.
You are tipping the above-mentioned Vauban. Maiden win in Australia last time out in the Sky High Stakes here at 2,000.
Yeah, and it wasn't a race where they went overly hard, Mardo, so I thought he did a great job. He's found the right part of the track, sure. It was definitely down the middle this day, but gee, it was a good win, and he paraded a bit warm in the yard. Hopefully he handles the occasion better today, but I think the cooler day is certainly going to help him. But yeah, this had 2,400 metres written all over him. Arapaho ran second, was super too, but just with the track now back on the improve, I want to be with him. Dubai
Honour's the one you're most worried about. He's won 3 Group 1s, 2 of them in Australia.
Yeah, exactly right. And look, his form overseas looks rock solid again, and he comes here, and of course he took the big scalp of Animo last time he was out here and toyed with him, really. So I've got to have him second pick. Arapaho, I think the conditions are ideal for him, just that sort of perfect rain effective track with not being absolutely bottomless. He was terrific in that replay we saw. 2,400 suits. He won the Zipping Classic last year at this distance. And Duke de Sessa had no luck at all in the Australia Cup Prelude. Should have won that race, and of course won a Caulfield Cup at this distance last year. Great race.
All right, Davo, let's have a look at what's happening late with the bookies. Dubai Honour is 360 into 330, and Vauban is 370 to 390 into $3.40. Arapaho 550 out to 7, back to 650. Duke de Sessa's ahead of it, 5 to 550, and there's a little nibble Zaria, number 5, which is 26 to 31, back into $26. Warmonger down the bottom, 13 out to 19, back into 17, has been spec'd as well. Good stoush pre-race. Dubai Honour and Vauban both attract interest.
They certainly do, and yeah, it's going to be a cracking race this, Marto. A really good addition to the Tancred, and yeah, you just got to pick which one you want, or if you want to look outside of that, as you said, a bit of specking for Warmonger, who certainly hit the line well the other day on a relish the wet track, and Zaria, well, he's got form around you by Honour, beaten 4 lengths there back in June. He hasn't had a lot of recent racing, but fascinated to see what he can do on debut for the Waller Yard over in Australia.
On the tab fix, Vauban holds the call, Gator, and ex-Willie Mullins 1 from 1 for Waterhouse Bot.
Yeah, look, his overall record's fabulous, isn't it? He's been probably frowned upon for his 2 Melbourne Cup runs, but he had genuine excuses in both of them. He was wide on a somehow inside bias day on our biggest day at Flemington last year, and the year before he chased a fearsome speed in a race. The first 6 home all came from the back, so we know he's world class. We know he'll run 2500 right out and handle the ground.
Dubai Honour is unbeaten in 2 Australian starts. Dovo won the Group 1 Ranvet here 2 years ago, beating Montefilia by over 4, and then won the 2023 Queen Elizabeth by 2.5 on a soft 7, beating Mwanga.
Yeah, that was some win, wasn't it? And he's renowned as a bit of a wet tracker, although William Haggis said that he's not convinced that he wants them these days as much as earlier on in his career. So he thinks he'll get through it fine. But yeah, I mean, the way he toyed with Animo that day was simply superb, and his win over Montefilia ditto. So really nice horse. And just having a look on screen there, Marto, seems like Vauban's handling the occasion a lot better. He didn't seem worked up. In fact, he was that relaxed. He was having a bit of a bathroom break before.
Not as hot today. That obviously helps.
Yeah, obviously helps him. So he's a bit of a cooler customer today. And look, he's normally a bit of a hothead in the yard, but he's handled this occasion a lot better. So that can only bode well for his performance as well. Land
Legends being reshod, so there's a delay here. Vauban has been best back late with the bookies, $3.70, $3.90 back into $3.10. Gator is $26 for the Queen Elizabeth. It's doubtful for the Sydney Cup, but it's in the market at $8.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Obviously, you'd have to come back and trip there, which may not be the A1 spot, and Via Sistina does loom large there, but yeah, it's great to have horses of his calibre in our country racing in our Group 1s.
And Dubai Honour's returning from a break, but has won twice fresh before, Dobo.
Yeah, and the trainer in a recent interview suggesting that this is where he's probably a bit more confident with the horse than the Queen Elizabeth. He feels he's looking for 2,400 metres these days rather than the 2,000. He's thinking, in a recent interview, basically saying Via Sistina should be well into odds on, and I don't think we can win the QE, but pretty confident we go close in the Tancred because he's a real 2,400 metre horse these days.
Little nibble for River of Stars. It was very soft early, 14 out to 20 with the bookmakers, just back into $18. Originally, James McDonald was booked to ride, then Blake Shin took them out, but now Nashua Willer's in the saddle.
Yeah, there you go, and another one on debut over here in Australia, 6-year-old mare, and also had some success with these overseas mares, the Yulong and Chris Waller with Via Sistina, and look, this horse finished second in a Group 1 over at Longchamp back in October last year. I'm not going to try to pretend to be an international expert, but you've got to respect the fact that they brought this mare out here, and fascinated to see. She's obviously been Group 1 competitive over there, what she can do here.
How do you line up River of Stars, Gator?
Yeah, look, with some difficulty, but did Group 1 place at the end of last prep. Only been beaten once at 2,400 and will handle any track. So, yeah, we'll see how we go.
And they are trying to load them up for the feature events, the Tancred Stakes. Vauban, of course, is a triple Group 1 winner, ran unplaced in a couple of Melbourne Cups here previously. Yeah,
and he just clearly wasn't at his best over here for the Melbourne Cups, but he's hit the ground running this time with the Waterhouse and Bot Yard. It seems like a pretty good buy, and obviously time will tell, but they've already got 200,000 in the bank from the other day. He's getting a little bit warm there late, but nothing compared to the other day, so he's certainly handling the occasion a fair bit better, and be fascinated to see if he can back up that sky-high performance.
Won't be able to say this very often. The Group 1 feature on this Tuesday afternoon, the Tancred Stakes. Wait for age with Darren.
Moving in well. It's been a terrific betting race here. Andrew, Dubai Honour and Vauban. The punters are really lumping into the pair of them. And at the moment, Vauban is a marginal favourite at 3.10. But Dubai Honour looking to protect his unbeaten Group 1 record in Australia. He's 2 for 2, Dubai Honour, having won the Ranvet and the Queen Elizabeth 2 years ago. Vauban was so good winning first up in the Sky High, coming from last that day and rounding them up on the outside. Now moving forward, might be Warmonger now. Land Legend just was holding up the start whilst the farrier had to refit the plate there. River of Stars, she's got herself rather buzzed up, so she's moving in now. And Asterix, the New Zealand Derby winner 3 years ago, is the last to go in. Drawn the outside barrier for the Kia Tancred Stakes, 2,400 metres ahead of them. And Asterix is the last to go in. So 11 to run, they're locked and loaded, and we're ready to go. Dubai Honour and Bourbon basically joint favourites here at the death. They're off and racing now. And a great line out. Land Legend being taken back. Asterix being taken back. Now Duke de Sessa jumped well off the inside. So did Dubai Honour. Arapaho handy together with Circle of Fire. And River of Stars has got pretty fired up here today. She's rolling forward up on the outside, going to the post the first time, and River of Stars is coming across. Duke de Sessa holds the front. River of Stars working, getting in advance of Circle of Fire, is looking to ease in behind the leaders. They're followed by Dubai Honour, and Arapaho caught 3 wide early. Vauban midfield back on the fence. They're followed by Zaria in the white cap. Warmonger the outside, then Land Legend, Zechariah, and Asterix is back last of all. So Duke de Sessa with a head on the chest leads the way. River of Stars second, and Circle of Fire was able to slot in behind the leader. Arapaho couldn't get in, stuck 3 wide, so Arapaho presses on now, looking for the spot outside the leader. This puts Dubai Honour about midfield now. On the outside there is Warmonger, and Vauban back on the rails. A length and a half to Zaria, then Land Legend from Asterix, and Zechariah is the last one. Duke de Sessa holds the front going down the back, out by 3/4. Arapaho looking for his second win in the race, and they're at the halfway mark now. Arapaho second, then Circle of Fire, and Warmonger making ground now. River of Stars has let go as well, so Nash has let the European mare race to the front now. River of Stars a long way out, beating off Duke de Sessa. Warmonger the outside, 2 lengths then to Arapaho from Circle of Fire, and Dubai Honour is next. A length and a half to Vauban on the rails. On the inside is the rear. Then Land Legend from Asterix, and Zechariah's last of all. 800 metres to go, and River of Stars, having made the mid-race move, is a length and a half, 2 lengths clear to Warmonger and Duke de Sessa on the inside. A length and a half to Arapaho from Circle of Fire. Dubai Honour is well positioned and inching closer. A length further back to Vauban. On the inside is the rear. Coming up to the turn now. River of Stars just in front now. Duke de Sessa comes up on the outside to issue the challenge, clear from Arapaho. Then Dubai Honour and Circle of Fire between them, and then came Warmonger at the 300 metres. Duke de Sessa being tackled by Arapaho the outside. Dubai Honour's taking an inside run, and Vauban's got the last shot at them. Duke de Sessa being tackled by Dubai Honour, and Dubai Honour races to the front in the Tancred Stakes and remains unbeaten in 3 Group 1s in Sydney. Dubai Honour beat Duke de Sessa, and Vauban third, Arapaho fourth. Further back, Circle of Fire, River of Stars, then Land Legend. Further back to Zechariah from Warmonger, then Zaria, and Asterix was last to finish.
Top Flight International back in Australia with a bang. Dubai Honour claims the Tancred Stakes and pays $3.130.
Oh, doesn't he love Australia? He loves it that much. We might have to name a race after him at some point, Marto, but that's 3 wins over here, and what a horse he is. What a warrior at 7 years old to come over here, win the Tancred Stakes and win it comfortably in the end as well. Duke de Sessa, super effort. Vauban was held up at the top of the straight, but no match for Dubai Honour all the same. Great race, but best horse wins.
Dubai Honour home in the Group 1 feature at Rosehill. From Rosehill Gator, another Australian win for Dubai Honour, another Australian win for William Haggis. Thomas Marquand wins his 18th Group 1, his 5th in Australia.
Yeah, look, it was a terrific race on paper going in, and that's how it turned out. All 4 of those home were very good. Arapaho worked early and was still loomed to win. Vauban finished off well. Duke de Sessa had some pressure mid-race and battled gamely, but the winner had the softer run, perhaps of a few of them, but was simply too strong and a world-class athlete.
2 races to come from Rosehill. Group 3 Doncaster Prelude up next. Value play for Davo is amenable. Gator tips it as well.